My name's Valerie. I'm 57 years old and I've been an aquabus skipper for 3 years. I used to work at the university. I worked there for many years. There was a change in my circumstance. My boss retired, my department closed, so that opened up an opportunity for change. I wasn't expecting to follow this road, but after a year of looking at jobs that I really did not take, a couple of things happened that led to what I might call an epiphany. My daughter came in one morning and said, "Mom, why don't you work for the ferries? You love the ferries." She meant the big ferry boats, the BC ferries. But that planted the seed. Then sometime after that, I was chatting with my cousin and he said, "Val, you have to find something that you love, something you're good at, and something you pay that pays. And where those three meet, that's where you should be." And sure enough, the next morning, my eyes popped open and I thought of the little ferries down here. And it felt right from the very beginning. This waterway could be one of the busiest waterways in the country. At the height of summer, there is so much traffic, in particular vulnerable traffic, like stand-up paddleboarders, kayakers, people jumping in to swim, novice boating, people in rental boats. That's the real challenge. The amount of attention required, as well as managing the operation of your own boat. It's multitasking. It's fun to see the reactions of the different people when they get on the boat. A few times I've had people say, "Oh, is that your daughter?" talking about my deckhand. And it makes me think about how people would perceive me as operating a family boat. The other responses I get, the women that are age peers with me, they come on and go, "Wow, how did you get this job?" In contrast, the younger generation, the men, are very open, very cheerful, and do like to watch my skills and, commiserate, tell me about their boats, or, remark on how I use reverse when I dock. The changes are positive. The men are much more supportive and receptive than I ever would have imagined. So, way to go, guys.
Hi, my name is Josie. I'm 24 and I've been working for the Aquabus since May 2019, just under a year. So I've had a connection to the water in multiple aspects of my life. I studied a lot of marine sciences in my undergrad, and I've worked on the ocean quite a bit as a kayak instructor. I've taught canoeing and sailing, and I was a waterfront lifeguard. And the aspect of being a captain appealed to me because it's empowering. It's a role of leadership, and it seemed like a really fun job. I think it took me roughly a couple weeks on each type of vessel, both the small and the cycle boats, to get comfortable. And if I were to ballpark how many times I've undocked and docked, it would be about 30 to 35,000 times. So my message would be that, women are constantly exceeding expectations, and the hard part is the reactions that you get when you exceed those expectations and not letting them get to you and just being confident in yourself.
My first summer here, I started as a deckhand and I got the job through a family friend, and I loved working in the outdoors and being on the water. And from there, I decided to challenge myself and learn a new skill, which was to drive the boats. My name is Bridget Bingham, and I'm 20 years old, and I've been working at Aquabus for 2 years. The challenges I faced while learning to drive these ferry boats were to figure out the tide and the wind and how that affects each docking, and each dock is different, so with practice it became easier and easier. I've been a driver for about a year, so I'd say I've docked and undocked the boats about 25,000 times. I've had multiple people question my age and also question my ability before they've even stepped foot of my boat. But once they do and they see my dockings and they see how vigilant I am on the water, I have received quite a few number of compliments. I would say just go for your goals and push yourself outside of your comfort zone, because you'll never know until you actually do it how much you're actually capable of and how much you can succeed.
My name is Claire and I'm 25 and I have been working for Aquabus for almost a year. I wanted to work for Aquabus because it was a really good way to get a lot of driving experience and experience maneuvering a boat. So I got my license specifically for this job to kind of build my abilities and increase my skills just for overall life and job skills. I think one of the biggest challenges with this job in particular was the multitasking you have to do for it. So you're trying to learn how to drive a boat and like do your maneuvering really well, but at the same time you have people asking you questions and you're calculating fares. So it's really, you're balancing a lot of things, and I think that was the hardest part of learning for me. Well, my training lasted for about a week at first. And I was pretty comfortable after that, but then to become like really fully comfortable and just kind of have it automatic, that took maybe a couple months really. I estimate I've done about 30,000 dockings, which is quite a few. It is like, I do feel quite comfortable, but at the same time each boat is different as well. So you have to kind of continually adjust what you're doing every day you work. Normally people are just pretty excited to be on the boat. Sometimes you do get people that are like, whoa, you're a female captain? Like, wow, this is kind of interesting. But it's always positive, even if they're surprised. It's a good surprise. So other than being a ferry captain, I want to eventually go into research, doing like science in somewhere around ecology and biology, terrestrial or marine. I'm not decided yet, but this is basically a way for me to build my skills and to look toward the future.